Welcome back, guys. Episode 16, motherfucker. Um, Probably shouldn't swear so much on here. Anyway, welcome back, guys. We are here live, episode 16. Um, I just want to say I have so much lighting on me right now that I could definitely I could fund a whole city for with power, and I gotta say I'm getting sunburnt is how it feels. Like there is so much light on me that I am burning up. Anyway, we're here, episode 16. Illuminated, I guess, is what we should title this episode because I've never been so hot in my life with all this. But it looks good, so I mean, I think we'll sacrifice lighting for beauty because I gotta tell you the angles I was using, I just wasn't really into it with the past videos. So I used ChatGPT. I was like, Chat, you need to take me to film school. Like, tell me what we need to do, what I need to know to basically change this whole thing around. So, uh, you know, he was good. He showed me what lighting to get, and I call him a he. But yeah, ChatGPT was all about it. It's like we can do this. Let's see what kind of lighting that you'll need, and figured out about these. There's two lights here. There is a key light here and a key light here, and I've got another one in front of me. It's just a lot. It's a little bit much, but it's not bad. So yeah, if you guys have been paying attention to the show, we have been doing about like 3 or 4 episodes uh, a week now, and that's just because I'm practicing, really. So I figured, well, this is kind of in the early stages. What the hell? And I like it. I got again the we talked a lot last night. If you were on it, that was just a pure sales meeting that I had on a podcast. Um, I'm kind of thinking maybe like since Visitor Park is technically labeled like a what's it, like a comedy, like maybe I do a different one for business. That could definitely be a thing. Yeah, so yeah, you don't need to be right up with my nose hairs. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you like the setup. If I need to fix the lighting, feel free to send some tips over. But other than that, guys, we are here. We are not queer, but we are queer. We could be queer. We could be queer for happiness. So that's what I am. Uh, but yeah, we're working on. We just acquired the second microphone. So once we get the second mic in place, we will have visitors. We will start getting visitors on visitor parking. So if you want to join the show, I want you. Oh, God, I know it's cringy for me too, but yeah, no, I do want you on the show. So if you are thinking about, if you have anything to say, if if you think people would find you interesting, come on the show because I'd like to hear from you, and so would our viewers. Oh, fuck, I got a beer, but I was instructed by TikTok that I'm not allowed to have alcohol on the show because it keeps thinking that my Trader Joe's like sparkling, water is alcohol, and it's not. But yeah, hope everybody's having a banging weekend. I've had so much fun this weekend. We have both kids like we talked about, and they're just having the best time together. They're running around. Both kids are healthy, knock on wood. So I'm sure that'll change now. But no, it's been a great time. And what did we do today? We went to Best Buy, which is like incredible for children. That's like it's like a Chuck E. Cheese to them almost because it's a big warehouse and they could run around. So they had a ton of fun at that place. Got Avery a toy. She got some Legos. She wanted everything in there. That's the problem with Best Buy. She wasn't gonna walk away with everything. So I had to give her a little lesson on just act grateful when you get something, even if it wasn't the $500 gift that you wanted. That's just not feasible. It's not in the budget. Just be happy with the $25 Lego set. So she tried. She she's like, thank you. I'm like, this makes it so hard to give you gifts, and now I'm like, this must be how I am, because I'm a hard, I'm like, what is this? My dad's worse. My dad is way worse than I am. Like one time I got him like a watch, a really nice watch case. One, because I can't afford a watch to get you like a nice ass watch. Like that's just unfeasible with our current financial situation, everything in the business. I'm not gonna go out and buy you like a Rolex. Um, so that was funny. And he's like shaking the watch. He's like, "What is this? Where's the watch?" And I'm like, do you not want it? Like, give it back. I'll return. So no, I was like, I'll return it. I'll return it. Daddy, I'll return it. So yeah, he's a goofball. If you guys have met my dad, just a real nice guy. And I have to give him a shout out. He is the largest investor in this podcast because he has donated the second mic. So let's give Gabe a shout out. We'll do a cool edit with that short. But yeah, we're really happy that he's on board with us. He's ride or die with the visitor parking crew. Um, we've got a nice setup down here. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's coming together. It's coming together, and it's not bad at all. Um, there's no new shows out. Like, what the fuck is up with that? Like, we have 1923 on Sundays. That's a great show. So if you're into 1923, that's good. But there's really nothing else. Like, so we've been having to go outside, and it's a whole different thing, a whole different world out there. But yeah, it's a gloomy day here in the DC area. There's just not too much going on, and you know, La Liga soccer is on. You know, nobody's going to do that. But what do you guys think about this? I'm thinking about maybe breaking off and doing just a business podcast, because that's the one thing. Like yesterday when I was trying to figure out like things that I was like good at, or like things I could talk about at least. Business came up because it's like that's what I do for most of my time. So I could definitely talk about that for a while, but I don't know if I want to call it the same podcast. Like, should we keep it on visitor parking, or should we do something else? Let me know. Let me know in the comments, or just shoot me a DM, whatever. But yeah, just some are going to be better than others. So I'm not gonna sit here and apologize to you and tell you that like you came to the best podcast. I'm just saying you came to one of the most well lit podcasts. I mean, the lighting here is impeccable. Like I never got my chain shining so bright. You dig? So yeah, the chain shines bright. Do your chain hang low? Do it wobble to the floor? That was cringy. We are thinking about splitting off. So I think, give me some names, give me some ideas. If we do a business parking, we could do business parking. That's a good one. Business parking, business farting, fartology. I don't like farts. This is one thing me and my wife were talking about. We're talking about like gas, like farting, and how when you're in a new relationship or when you're hooking up with somebody, it's like everybody's holding it in. God willing, they're holding it in. If they're not, if they're just crop dusting their date, that's not very chill either. But but we were talking about how like when like you're in that like you get real close to it's like yeah, that beginning stage, and like after like we have a sleepover or whatever, if we have dinner and then like one of us escapes to the other room, it's just like just you're just letting it rip. She told me that I used to go around the kitchen when she was in the couch, like after we were done like hooking up or whatever, like or hanging out. Sorry, family, if you're listening, but I would just let one rip. But like my house is big, so I didn't think like she could hear it. But yeah, she was hearing them, so she stuck with me despite that. So that took some real courage. And she's a lady, so she never farts. And she's not stinky, even if she did. I'd embrace it. I'm just kidding. You don't fart. She doesn't fart. Nobody. God, I'm gonna get in trouble for this one. Anyway, this is really this is gonna make me cry. I feel like so happy that we've got the podcast station set up down here. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a real good feeling. But I hope everybody's having a good weekend, and Um, just let me know what you want to hear. This is more of an advertisement than anything. This is more me telling you guys that we have set up lighting. The home base is ready for podcasts for visitors. So tell me who you want out here. I want to know. If you don't contact me, please just reach out. Let me know what we could be doing better here, what you want to hear more of. So let's just keep this short. Let's do a couple stories, a couple easy stories. Spring break is upon us, so I was thinking maybe we go into the wildest. Let's go in the wildest spring breaks we've ever had. Again, backstory on me. College, I sucked at college. I sucked at girls. I sucked at I just never felt very confident and happy in college. But I still went to some spring breaks, and I made do with what. Look at me. I made do with what I had, and it was great. We went to Panama City Beach one time. That was a horrible experience. That was it was crazy. The people that were on that beach, imagine being on a beach. A lot of you guys have probably been to Panama City Beach if you're old or young or of that age group. Wall to wall people, you can't move in there because there's just so many people on the beach. And we saw Luke Bryan there. Went with my friend Billy, who is this skinny little fucker, and he always DMs me. Billy, you're always DMing me, and our friendship was he was the class clown, as I was the class clown, but he was the class clown to the class clown. And that he was so funny. Most of my humor today comes from that guy. So not just being the class clown, Billy, but you were really funny. I don't know you as much anymore ever since you got married and had that kid, but you were a funny guy. And so being with Billy it was more of a comedy tour than anything, than going to pick up girls and actually be serious. But he's just he's light as a feather. This guy. He's put on some weight now, doing all that jiu-jitsu and everything that he's got going on. But and Chris came. Chris, my friend Chris, who's actually a cop down in Minnesota, Mississippi or whatever. He loved Mississippi ever since he was a young boy. Don't know what his family ties were there, if he had any, but he went off to be a cop down there. He's actually the dude who put me on a sleep apnea mask. So I wear the big mask at night because I got a thick neck. Apparently it's a lot of people think it's from weight gain or whatever, but I had this ever since I was young. I've had kind of a thicker neck, so he put me on to getting the sleep apnea mask. So shout out Chris. So me, Billy, Chris. Did Mo come? I think Mo Solarkia was there too. Mo, second time I'm mentioning you, maybe third in this podcast. And are you ever going to come on? I think you're in town right now. Hit me up. So yeah, we go down there, PCB, we get a hotel room. It's 3 or 4 of us jam in there. Chris was going through some drinking stuff then, man. He could finish a bottle of Jack to the face. I could drink Jack all day long. Jack Daniels was my drink in college. I could Jack and Cokes, just straight Jack, any type of Jack. I could pound Jack and Cokes. But I never knew what type of drunk I was going to get with Jack Daniels. With beer, you get that fullness, and you can kind of sense your drunk list building. With Jack Daniels, it was no telling. It was a boomerang. You threw it out, it came back, and you were someone else. And Jack was crazy. So Jack and Cokes, man, we were pounding Jack and Cokes. I don't even think Trulies and stuff, maybe they had just come out, believe it or not. If you guys remember, see, this is how comfortable we've gotten as a society. Trulies weren't even a thing when I was growing up. They just started to get prevalent, I think, when I was in college, so 2012 to 2016. And so seltzers were just starting. Now everybody has a fucking seltzer. This dude I recruited with, Kevin O'Leary, he used to, I think he's got a seltzer now. He was a recruiter, good, decent recruiter. But he grew up into wanting to do seltzers. And so Cape Codder, I think, is the brand name. So yeah, look him up. Shout out. Yeah, this free promotion, buddy, for my 7 or 10 people that watch. But yeah, they, Everybody's got a freaking seltzer. Anyway, we're at the Panama City Beach, and that's what I remember. It was the start of seltzers, is how it felt. Um, I was there the year Dak Prescott got beat up. If you guys remember, we were at Panama City Beach with I think he played for Mississippi State, right? Yeah. So Dak Prescott was there. He gets jumped in a parking lot by like 6 or 5 dudes or whatever. I don't remember. I think it was just a one-on-one fight, but he lost bad. He got knocked out. So if you guys, I hate to bring this back up, Dak, but let's go back to the pull up the tape. Dak Prescott, spring break, Panama City Beach. You can find the footage if The Rock from Ballers hasn't like been his agent, like deleted that shit yet. But yeah, that happened when we was there. I can barely. That was a long time ago. I can barely remember it. It was over 10 years ago. Damn. Or maybe just over. I was probably 20. Had a fake ID. Going everywhere with fake IDs in college. That fucking blew. So that hasn't changed. But yeah, man. I don't have a lot of stories other than Chris had to go. Chris got so drunk one night, like all day and night, he ended up sleeping in a parking lot of the Walmart, and the cops had to tap on the windows before he was a cop. Yeah. These are fine cherries to store. I mean, nobody's reading. No, the cops in Mississippi aren't reading this, and we can edit this out if we need to. Chris, don't worry about it. But yeah, what are some other great? Been to Cancun. Mo was in Cancun. Not gonna share any private stories of Cancun, but there's a lore. There's definitely a lore in Cancun. You see those girls are down there in Cancun right now. The girl Bonnie Blue, and I don't know who the other one is. The skinnier, taller one. Not the Bonnie's. She's this is the dude who's banged the girl who's banged 1,000 dudes in one day. Yeah, so they're down there. They're banging all the underage kids. So that's just that's what the world has come to. These are not podcasters anymore. They're only fanners, and they're down there, banging 1,000 people to make money off of it. And damn, it's my God, it's working. I mean, you don't want to do that. Talk about a lot. That's just a lot. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of stress. There's a lot of people there. I wouldn't want to go to that room. Can you imagine being one of those 21-year-old boys? I guess it's I can see people at 21, not me, but yeah, because she's come to my room. I'm in 57B floor 100, and they're just lining up and they're just banging, dude. So yeah, shout out Bonnie Blue, carrying that career around. There's a lot of paths. There's a lot of paths to being a millionaire. My mom, hate to transition from this to my mom, but she's always every time she used to see my wife, and my wife has such a fatty. She's like, oh my God, you need to start an OnlyFans. You should totally start one. And I'm like, Mom, don't tell my fucking fiance that she needs to start an OnlyFans, my now to be wife. But yeah, she was that was pretty funny, I guess there's a lot you could do in OnlyFans. I think we were thinking about doing that for staffing, a staffing OnlyFans. I'll just sit there naked and be $1 if you want to see this resume, or $10 if you want me to get you an interview with this client. So it was down the rabbit hole. But yeah, Cancun was crazy, man. You go there, you think there's going to be wall-to-wall girls. It's wall-to-wall dudes, because every dude has the same idea. It's like spring breakers. You have this idea of going to Cancun, and it's like the American Pie. Everyone's getting laid and getting drunk, and that was a better time. The '90s, the early 2000s. Those movies that I grew up on. That was it. That was life. You drink, you grow up. You get laid for the first time, and then you hope to do it a couple times after that. You date the hottest girl in school. That was the hero of my generation. So forgive us, But I think a lot of that was one, and then the next 20 years they just started making movies about the dork getting with the girl. It wasn't the jock anymore. So I think that's where you get these, you get these guys like Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez, even though I'm not a big Selena Gomez fan anyway. being together, because I think for so long they had just beaten the man down, saying, don't be with the jock, be with the guy who's going to build Apple one day, So I don't know, but I think love is love. Do what you want, and it definitely feels to me like spring break now is probably more about like my sister. She's back from spring break. I think she's just with the family, not doing much. I don't think she went out to spring break this year per se, but yeah, I just think there's a lot of expectation around spring break, and there's not you can never meet it. I've had more fun being an adult than I did in college. Like I think going more places. Like I think Vegas. If you could do Vegas for spring break, oh yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, Vegas for spring break is definitely that would be like an adult spring break. Like Vegas is crazy. We should do a Vegas episode. I've been to Vegas so many times. I've had some crazy experiences there. I did my 21st in Vegas. So if you have anybody who's turning 21, I highly suggest taking them to Vegas. You can't miss. Vegas doesn't miss. We could talk about the Atlantic City trip. The Atlantic City trip is like a mini baby Vegas. Like a little tiny cock. A little tiny Vegas. So we went to Atlantic City for my boys' bachelor party. What up, dog? That was a great time. Reconnected with my friend Colin from high school. We were close, not that close in high school. We were friends, but like he was in an older group, so it was not like we'd spend that much time together. But so we've stayed in touch throughout the years. And now he's got a kid. He's got a little one of his own, so we could kind of relate on that common ground and like the pressures of fatherhood and like so hard. Like we have to go on Atlantic City trips and our wives have to no. But yeah, you get it. Like it's tough being a dad and a mom. Neither one of us gets enough credit. Moms don't get enough credit. Dads don't get enough credit. Let's just agree to disagree that neither one of just how it is. So me and Colin were relating on that. Also, Colin was so fun to hang out with. Like we had the best time. Like I described, there was like 6 or 7 other guys there. I described it like being on a fucking rocket ship. Like as soon as like we got there, it just felt like there was a buzz in the air. We're high. He's going to the high roller room. We're all following him around. Like it was just a good time, man. Ryan had a great time. Ryan had a little smile. He had a little smile on his face the entire time. At one point, I think I texted a picture to his fiance Gabby, and she's like, "What did you do to him?" Because he's like. So yeah, I saw some friends I hadn't seen in a while. Saw my friend Joel lives right up the fucking road from me. I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, I don't even know what he says, and texts me like, that's huge, Joel. And yeah, so it's like I haven't seen him in 6 months since his wedding or my wedding, but they're also getting pregnant now. So shout out Joel, shout out you guys, congratulations. So that's people. It's coming time. It took me until about 30 years old, but my friends are starting to come around to family life and do it. Definitely they're all doing it the slow way, the right way. There's nothing wrong with it. I jumped fucking feet first, so into my first child, so I understand it. But no. So we had a great time in Atlantic City. All the tables there are pretty cheap, so. You can win big because it's not like Vegas where it's like they have to make a lot of money back to pay for those hotels. Atlantic City doesn't have shit to pay for back. They're just having a good time with it. They're making money. They're not raping the people with these cheating schemes. Like if you go to Vegas, they fucking cheat. I fucking swear to God. I mean, they don't build these empires because somebody can come in there and wipe them out. So Atlantic City, they got gambling. They got everything else. We went to a 5-star dinner. All got fucking Wagyu. There was a freaking, he had a penthouse. It was just a great time. The nightclubs there were pretty good. So if I was going to rate Atlantic City for you guys, on a scale of 1 to 5, it depends on where you stay. We stay, like when me and my friend Josh go, we stay in the rundown Tropicana, some, Wild Wild West, Bally's, and those are places that's like, I highly suggest you guys go because I've never felt so close to like death, to like imminent, like, and that's what's so fun about Atlantic City is like, you go there and like, you feel like a crackhead could walk up to you and just like stab you at any point. And like, Everybody smokes cigarettes there. It's like this. It feels like the cigarette capital of like America probably. So um, that was pretty entertaining. Highly suggest it. Atlantic City. It's a 3.5 hour drive, 4 hour drive from most tri-state area. New York, D.C., Philly. Like it's within three for all of those states. So you also get those crowds. So you get the the everyone's into it. Like they were the old men are screaming their lungs out at horse racing. That was a big thing. Hung out with a lot with my babysitter. My babysitter's boyfriend, Corey. Shout out my dude Corey. Like that was a great time. I mean, he's like a younger guy, so like it was refreshing to get that perspective because I just hang out with 30-year-olds. He's a good dude, so that we had a great time. I can keep saying we have a great time because it's a bachelor party. Like I can't really be like we did this and that happened. I'm just trying to rate Atlantic City now. Like there are clubs. If you stay at the Borgata, I've seen. We like last year, 2 years ago, we saw Jersey Shore. Paulie D. We ran into Sammy in the hallway. Sammy Sweetheart, and Snooki was there. So the Borgata is definitely the place to stay if you go. So, spring breaks. Don't go to Mexico. What I want to do, the next adult trip I want to take, and let me know if you guys have ever been there, but I want to go to like Cabo or like the other Baja, like the other side of Mexico. I don't want to go to Cancun, and that's a young man's game. Everyone's like, you are 30, you are young. I'm like, yeah, you tell that to my two kids and my arthritis. But yeah, I want to go to the other side of Mexico, and have a long week's vacation or like a 4-day or 5-day or vacations, man. Vacations. Ryan's wedding is coming up. Super pumped about that. I went through. Here's where my being me, I'm like, shit. Okay, he's like, did you book a hotel room? I'm like, yeah, I booked a hotel room. She's like, did you book the hotel room? I'm like, yes, I booked the hotel room. She's like, did you look into it? I'm like, yeah. A month has gone by. 2 months. He did not book the hotel room. Harry Potter. Turn your page to 679. Yeah, I didn't book the hotel room until recently. I didn't even know there was a room block. So first I get this Airbnb for like far too much, thinking, okay, we'll get all, Jonathan, Therese, we're all going to split, and I didn't run it by anybody, didn't run it by my wife, I just was like, all right, this is what we're doing. It's going to be great. And then everybody already has rooms. So they're like, no, or like, my ride or die was down. So that was about it. And I got a hotel room. I got the Airbnb, and then I realized that I had 3 bookings now, and I had to cancel one. So I canceled the Airbnb. That was a dumb idea. I made one room booking on Booking.com to the hotel, and I had a king bed one night, double the other night, because I didn't use the room block, Gabby. I forgot to use the room block. So called the main hotel, used the room block, got the discount. Now I'm canceling Booking.com. But yeah, so I had 3 bookings out there, just lingering. But yeah, think we're gonna be back sooner than you know it. So don't need to overload you with too many stories. You got a couple. Again, I feel bad. I didn't really go into much of them. It's just sometimes I'm like looking back at my memory and I'm like, what can I say? What can I not say on live television? But no, this isn't live. But anyway, I think for this episode, we need to do one more promo kind of. So if you're done now, you can feel free to tune out. I need to do a couple promo clips. Well, I guess I can clip it later. The advertisement gene in me, the ad gene is strong with this one. But yeah, I'm out of things to talk about. I think that we will be back. We are going to talk about breaking into a business podcast. In addition to visitor parking, I'll do visitor parking, but it won't be talking about business. I'll just talk about my life. Business podcast, we're going to get into the ins and outs of how to start a business, the people you encounter, the type of worker you encounter. But then I'm like, the things I might want to talk about on my business podcast might not be what people want to hear, and it could lose me some business. So I have to figure it out in such a way where it's like, I don't want to be a sales coach. I don't want to be a sales trainer, even though on social media, it looks like they make a fuck ton of money. But usually it just seems like such a scheme. Like, I'm not a schemer. So it's like, I am a schemer, but I'm not a scammer. I couldn't imagine getting on there and like, scamming people, be like, this is what you gotta do. You do this and that, and follow my. It's like all these pyramid schemes of salespeople. So I guess I could add like a refreshing take, like, look, I'm not gonna bullshit you. Like, it's fucking hard. It's miserable sometimes, but like, that's kind of the approach I would take when talking about it, and just maybe coaching people through it that way. So let me know what you guys think. Other than that, it's Saturday night. We're live on Saturday night. We've manifested a couple things. What was the last thing we manifested? I don't remember. I already met Lamar Jackson, so when I manifested that, met him. So if you want me to do that, another episode, more detail, now that we have video, talking about how I met Lamar Jackson pretty much like 3 different times in a summer, we could do that one. But, I just think let's manifest. We want Donald Trump on the pod at some point. That's like way down the road once his country's in a much better place. He's older, and like I'm, in a place where like he's like, yeah, I want to come on visitor parking, and like, no, he's never coming on my podcast. I think because if you guys can you look up that clip where he gets hit by the microphone? He did not. It's like the microphone. The anger. How angry he got at the camera was kind of like, I mean, I'd be mad too if somebody did that, but like, I guess stress is running high when you're running the country into southern directions, and the ground. It's fine. It'll be fine. Anyway, I love this country. God bless America. God bless our troops.